saw this where Barry Sanders tweeted this morning he was excited to talk to his, quote, movie star friend, the Hall of Famer, Barry Sanders, joining us on the program. So you've seen my body of work, Barry.
Absolutely. Who hasn't?
How would you rate my acting ability?
Oh, see, come on now. Why would you want to put me on the spot like that, man? Why would you want to put me on the spot? But
go ahead.
I would say no. Hey, we're on your show. How about 2 thumbs up?
Well, how many movies have you been in, Barry?
Oh, ouch.
Okay.
Not very many. Not very. I think one.
What was the movie?
I think one. It was called Touchback, I believe.
Did you play yourself in Touchback?
I played basically. I was on the sideline acting as a coach.
Okay.
Like an assistant coach on the sideline.
Wait, is this
what I was doing?
Kurt Russell?
Kurt Russell, there you go. So you've seen it.
No, I haven't
seen my work.
No,
you've seen my work. No.
What do you think when you see your old game film? When you're watching highlights and you come on?
Oh, I mean, it just, you know what? It just kind of brings back memories of being young and being able to do that kind of cool stuff on the field and living out my dream. And really almost those kind of butterflies, of actually playing in the game and that sort of excitement you get while you actually going through it in the middle of it. So it's pretty cool.
Can you teach your style of running?
That's a good question. I think to some yes, you can teach it. To others, maybe not.
Who could I teach that to? How many guys had your ability to cut? I don't know how fast you were. I just know you had that ability to cut.
Absolutely. No, I think to the right individuals, I think you can teach it. But how many guys? I mean, I don't know. I mean, Dan, I watched the game as a kid, and I was imitating so many guys like Joe Washington and Greg Pruitt and Tony Dorsett and OJ and Marcus Allen and guys like that. So I can't sit up here like I authored any of it.
Yeah, but Barry, you know what?
I tried to perfect it, though.
Your style was you had to run for your life behind that Lions offensive line. Like that was your style.
No, hey, look, I think for me, yeah, absolutely, it was my style. That's the way I'd always run. I trust me, as a kid, that's the way I ran. Even when I didn't have the Lions offensive line, so
but
that's just the way I ran.
Take me back to when you played your last game, and I got a call from your agent, Peter Schaefer, and he said, "Hey, Barry's going to take a flight to London." Right?
Right.
Okay, did you know prior to the game that was your last game and that you were going to take a flight to London as you ended your NFL career?
Well, no, at the time I retired, I didn't know I was going to take a flight to London because the flight to London happened in July or something like that on the eve of training camp. And the last game would have been that December, I guess, of 98, I would think. And so, but I knew that season that was pretty much it. I knew, I just knew that, you know what, I had played 10 great years and had a great run. Didn't really see a reason to, continue in the game. I knew that drive and, that kind of thing, that pilot light, that's always lit, that drives you, that, that drives that fire within. I just knew that was gone at year 10, and it was just time to move on. I mean, it's something that, I mean, I guess unless you've had that experience of where you have to make a change in life like that, maybe it doesn't sound very clear, but I just knew that and understood that, yes, it's time to move on.
Was there any part of you who didn't want to break Walter Payton's rushing record?
I don't know. I mean, that's a tough question to answer because being a lifelong fan of NFL and Walter Payton and running backs. I understood what that meant. But I just knew that for me, the game had just run its course, and I didn't get it in the time that I played. I got close enough, and it's always an honor to be mentioned with Walter. So yeah, that's kind of how I looked at it.
But I also wonder, the Lions just said to Matthew Stafford, hey, we're going to let you, like, you pick where you want to go, or we're going to try to help you go someplace. I was wondering if you were playing now with the Lions and they weren't winning and they had that, maybe they would look at the same way and go, hey, you want to go to the Raiders? We're going to send you to the Raiders, or your favorite team, I think, back then. Do you think that's what the Lions were doing with Matthew Stafford, is basically saying, hey, we're not going anywhere. Here's our thank you to you. We're going to send you to the LA Rams.
Yeah, I mean, there apparently seem to be some of that. I think it's a different league now. I think, and he's meant so much to the franchise. He's carried us for many, many years, and so yeah. I mean, whatever that conversation was, the two sort of came to an agreement that was the best thing for both parties. I don't know exactly, the details of the conversation, but what a blockbuster trade, man. I mean, wow. And so, hey, look, hopefully it works out well for both. We're getting a young man who's played a lot of in some very big games in a short career. And we'll see what happens. And
you're okay with the trade if you're being a Lions fan?
I think we got a lot for it.
Okay.
I think we got a lot for it. I think, wow. I mean, you look at the picks and things like that. I think we came out pretty good. To this point, I think we can say that, yeah, we should feel pretty good about it.
He's Barry Sanders, a Hall of Famer, joining us. We'll get to what he's promoting here in a moment. Did you have any part in the Dan Campbell hire as head coach?
I wouldn't say I played a major role in it, but I was kind of involved in just the conversation with Chris Billman and so forth. So I knew that he was going to talk to Coach Campbell and some others.
He's kind of goofy, Barry.
Well, I guess he's a great coach, a great coaching prospect. He's been around the game. I kind of enjoyed the press conference. It was kind of entertaining. And so you got to come in and entertain the fans a little bit, right?
Well, you would hope the team would entertain him, Barry. But if the team doesn't do well, then Dan should be entertaining in those press conferences.
Well, I mean, you got to start off some way, and I think he left a good impression. And so I enjoyed it and got a few chuckles out of the press conference, and you need a few guys who's going to bite on some ankles and knees and
you would not have been his kind of player, Barry. You're not biting any ankles or kneecaps.
Well, I don't know. I can't say as a defensive player. If I were on defense, I don't know. Personalities change a little bit here and there.
Would you have been a safety or a corner?
I become a different animal, Dan.
Oh,
I become a different animal on defense.
Could you have been Deion Sanders?
No, I couldn't. I don't want to go that far. But no, I love playing defense. And, of course, in my generation, most of us growing up playing the game, we played on both sides of the ball. So I absolutely love playing defense. And I played varsity defense in high school before I played offense. And so I thought I was a pretty decent cornerback. I mean, I'd have to go back and look at the tape, But in my mind, I thought I was a pretty decent corner.
He's Barry Sanders, the Hall of Famer, and joining us on behalf of Rocket Mortgage, the Super Bowl Squares sweepstakes there. Do you want to let the audience know what they can win, how they can be involved? I want to hear you as a salesperson. Give me the sales pitch here, Barry.
No, absolutely, Dan. We're just trying to give fans watching the big game a chance to win a lot of cash, and so the way it works is, every score change during the game, touchdowns, field goals, extra points, Fans will have a chance to win $50,000. Two lucky fans will win $500,000. So it's free to play. So just go to rocketmortgagesquares.com, learn more about it. It's going to be a terrific game. You got two quarterbacks that can set the scoreboard on fire. That'll bode well for Squares players. And we hope just that Rocket Mortgage and Squares players win a lot of cash.
When's the last time you bet on a sporting event?
Oh, I don't know what, middle school maybe.
You were never interested in after you got out of football? You didn't gamble at all? Didn't bet on anything?
No, nothing. No, I never did. I mean, it was probably last time I bet was maybe in the Raiders Washington Super Bowl. What was that? 84, 83 or something like that.
That was when Marcus had his run?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yes. So but yeah, I've never been a big gambler in that way.
If I said you were GM, you could start your team with any running back besides you.
Oh.
Who are you going to start with?
Besides me, any running back who's ever played? Wow. I would probably go with Jim Brown. I would go with Jim Brown.
Well, I know your dad loved Jim Brown, but I don't know how Jim would do in today's game. Would Jim Brown be Derrick Henry?
I think he'd be Derrick Henry. Honestly, that's kind of what I was thinking.
I can't imagine tackling Derrick Henry, Barry.
Oh, I know. That's why I'm glad. I stopped playing cornerback. Moved to running backs. Trying to tackle guys. No, but Derrick, I think he's the closest thing to Jim Brown. You look at what he's done the last couple of years. Phenomenal year this year. Going over 2,000 yards. I wouldn't be surprised to see him do it again. It'd be kind of cool to see the first guy able to do it twice. I've said this before. I think outside of Mahomes and maybe Rodgers, he's probably been the most dominant player in the game. So yeah, he's been phenomenal. But I guess I would go with Jim because I think he probably dominated the game. He dominated the game like no other running back did or has when he played, and so got to give the nod to Mr. Brown. My dad taught me well.
Oh, I remember that. Gosh, he used to remind you all the time about you're no Jim Brown.
Hey, look, I mean, and to me, that's still a compliment, especially coming from my dad.
It wasn't really it was a backhanded compliment.
Yeah, coming from my dad, that's like one of the nicest things he's ever said to me. So,
why do you think he was so tough on you?
I don't know that he was tough as much as just in his mind, he would say he was just preparing me and just honest. That's how he felt. I mean, but the funny thing about the Jim Brown thing is that really all my life, long before I was like high school or college or any kind of Heisman Trophy, any of that, he just loved talking about Jim Brown, just because, I was interested in certain running backs when I was growing up, and that would give him, the motivation to just start talking about Jim Brown and how great he was and how, none of the current running backs could stand up to Jim Brown, so he was just, so I don't even know if it was about, the fact that I ended up being a running back, just other than, or just he loved Jim Brown and that was his guy. So that's kind of how that was.
Did you ever get hit where it really hurt? Like, I don't remember you taking on tacklers the way you avoided it. But did you ever get hit, like get your bell rung or get really banged up one time by a defender?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think my first start I remember was in the Meadowlands, and I got the wind knocked out of me, and I don't remember who it was. But even so that's probably the one time where I probably had to come out of the game. But I think because of adrenaline and because you're in the heat of the moment, it happens often, but you don't notice it. At least for me, anyways, that was my personal experience. It happened, but no, I mean, yeah, but it certainly happened after that. But that's the one that I remember probably the most.
Well, it's good to see you. Looks like you could probably give me a couple of carries in a game.
Oh, I'd love to, man. I'd love to. No, it's great. It's great being here, man. Thanks for having me.
Well, Barry Sanders is coming back, I think. You want to help Jared Goff? Are you coming back for the Lions? Is that what you're announcing? You want to play again, Barry?
You mean on the field?
Yeah.
Like running back?
Yeah.
I hadn't heard that rumor, but
let's
I'm gonna have to check into that. I'm gonna have to check into that. I have to check into that.
Are you saying you're open to it, Barry?
I doubt it. I doubt it.
It's great to connect with you again. Hope you're doing well. Probably playing a lot of golf, not doing anything else, right?
I'm playing a little golf. Just taking it easy. I mean, it's COVID, man. So what? How much can you do? But just taking it easy, trying to stay safe. And appreciate your time, man. And good luck to all the Squares player out there. Go to rocketmortgagesquares.com. Find out more about it.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you, Barry.
All right, Dan. Appreciate it, man.
That's Barry Sanders, Hall of Famer. MVP in 1997, four-time NFL rushing leader with the Lions.